Good day everyone, my name is Kzenh Lavigne Javier from BSN2B and today I will be presenting about the evolution of technology. So it is a journey with Jim Al-Khalili. So in this topic, we will explore kung paano nagsimula ang pag-evolve ng technology at kung paano ito nakaapekto sa healthcare at nursing practice. So let's go to my PowerPoint presentation. So, for our objectives, first, we will define what technology really means. Second, we will trace its evolution from early time hanggang sa present. And third, we will identify the importance of milestone or key events. Fourth, we will understand the impacts of society and healthcare. And lastly, we will explore ano pa ang possible future innovations. So, for the introduction, technology is already part of our everyday life. Halos lahat ng ginagawa natin from communication, education, hanggang sa healthcare ay gumagamit ng technology. It continuously shape how we live, how we interact with others, and how we solve problems. Sa healthcare, napakalaki ng role nito because it helps improve diagnosis, treatment, and patient care. So, in this presentation, maiintindihan natin kung paano nagsimula ang technology at kung paano ito nag-develop over time. So, what is technology? Technology is the application of scientific knowledge to solve problems and make life easier. Hindi lang ito gadgets like phones and laptops. Kasama dito ang tools, machine systems, and even processes. For example, even simple tools like a knife or a thermometer are considered technology. Over time, technology evolves because of human creativity, curiosity, and need to improve to life. So, moving on, importance of fire. One of the greatest discoveries of early humans was fire. Fire provided warmth, especially during cold seasons. It also protected them from wild animals. Another important benefit is cooking because cooked food is easier to digest and safer to eat. At the same time, fire become a center of social interaction where people gather and communicate. So, as societies develop, Asian civilization like Egypt, Greece, and Rome introduced more advanced technologies. They created writing system which improved communication and documentation. They also built large structure like pyramid and showing their engineering skills. So in agriculture, irrigation systems help increase food products and support larger populations. So moving on in early medicine, people relied on herbs and natural remedies to treat illness. They believe in traditional healing practices, sometimes combined with spiritual beliefs. Some basic surgeries were already practiced, although risky and not yet scientific, even though limited. These early practices become the foundation of modern medicine we use today. So, in scientific revolution mark a major turning point in history. People began to rely on observation, experimentation, and evidence. Scientific thinking replaced traditional beliefs and superstitions. This period lead to many discoveries that shape modern science. Let's move on to key scientists. Two of the most important scientists during this time were Isaac Newton and Galileo Galilei. Newton developed uh, the law of motion and gravity, while Galileo contributed to astronomy and improved scientific method. These discoveries helped build the foundation of modern physics and science. So now let's look in the Industrial Revolution. So the Industrial Revolution introduced machines and factories. Production became faster and more efficient through mass production. Transportation system like trains improve connectivity between the places. As a result, cities grow rapidly and societies become more industrial. So for the digital age, in the digital age, computers and the internet became widely used. Smartphones allowed instant communication across the world. Information become easily accessible anytime and anywhere. Technology became deeply integrated into our everyday life. So moving on in technology in healthcare. Technology has greatly improved healthcare services. Electronic health records help organize patient information efficiently. Telemedicine allows doctor and nurses to consult patients remotely. Diagnostic machine provide more accurate results. And lastly is monitoring system also improve patient safety. So in the role of nurses, as a future nurses, technology plays a big role in our profession. We use it for monitoring patients and recording data accurately. We must adapt to new digital system and medical equipment. Most importantly, we use technology to provide safe, efficient, and quality patient care. In future um, technology will continue to advance. Artificial intelligence can help in diagnosis and treatment planning. Robotics may assist in surgeries and patient care. Biotechnology can provide advanced medical solution. And lastly, a smart healthcare system will improve efficiency in hospitals. So for the ethical considerations, while technology is beneficial, it also raises ethical concerns. We must protect patient privacy and ensure data security. Technology should be used responsibly in healthcare. We must also maintain human-centered care and make ethical decisions. Conclusions. In conclusion, technology has continuously evolved through human innovation. It has transformed society and healthcare in many ways. It improves quality of life and patient care. However, as technology advances, we must balance innovation and ethical responsibility. So that's conclude my presentation. Thank you for listening, and I'm gonna present a video presentation. Watch this as a guide of The evolution of technology. In early stage, technology was basic and limited. Devices were large, slow, and designed for single purposes. Example, typewriters for writing, landline telephones for communication, analog television, and radios for entertainment. So during this time, people relied heavily on manual work and access to information was limited. So when the internet happens, the invention of the internet marked a major turning point in technological evolution. It allowed constant communication across the world, access to information, development of email, websites, and online platforms. The internet connected people globally, making the world more accessible and interconnected. And when the integration happens, technology continues to evolve through integration. For example, smartphones that combine camera, internet, music, and apps. Looking ahead, technology will continue to grow and transform society. Possible future developments include more advanced artificial intelligence, smart cities, and connected environments. The future of technology will focus on improving human life while addressing global challenges. From the old days and simple machines to the rise of the internet and beyond, technology has undergone significant transformation. Each stage, collaboration, innovation, and integration has contributed to shaping the modern world. As we move forward, the question is what happens next? Remind us that technology will continue to evolve and human must be ready to adapt and use it responsibly. So guys, I will show you the video for you to understand more about the evolution of technology. The story of radio begins in the late 18th century when scientists started experimenting with electromagnetic waves. These invisible waves made it possible to send signals through the air without using wires. Early inventors worked hard to understand how these waves could carry message every long distance. At first, radio technology was very basic and could only transmit simple signals such as Morse code, which used dots and dashes to represent letters. So in the early 90s, radio technology improved significantly. It became possible to transmit not just signals but also human voice and music. This marked the birth of radio broadcasting. So during this time, radio was mainly used for communication between ships at sea and stations on land. Technology has been part of human life since the earliest time. Even before machine and computers existed, early humans were already using simple tools made from stone, wood, and bones. These tools were used for hunting, building shelters, and surviving in harsh environment. This period is often referred to as the Stone Age, where innovation meant finding better ways to meet the basic needs. As time passed, humans learned to work with metals, leading to the Bronze Age and Iron Age. This advancement allowed people to create stronger tools and weapons, which improved agricultural, transportation, and overall productivity. Communities began to grow and civilizations started to form because of these technological improvements. So, one of the most important turning points in the evolution of technology was the Industrial Revolution. During this time, machine replaced manual labor in many industries. Factories were built and production became faster and more efficient. Steam engines, railways, and mechanized equipment transform how people work and live together. This period is led to urbanization as many people move to cities for job opportunities. Following the Industrial Revolution came the age of electricity and communication. The invention of electricity brought light into homes and powered machines in a new ways. Communication technologies such as telegraph and telephone allowed people to connect over long distances almost instantly. This was a major shift from the slow methods of communication used in the past. Technology advanced even more rapidly with the development of computers, so early computers were large and expensive, used mainly by governments and big organizations. However, over time, they became smaller, faster, and more affordable. The invention of personal computers made technology accessible to ordinary people, changing how we work, study, and communicate. Today, we are living in the digital age where technology continues to evolve at an incredible pace. Smartphones, artificial intelligence, robotics, and cloud computing are now common. These technologies make our lives more convenient but also bring challenges such as privacy concern, cybersecurity risk, and the need for digital responsibility. So, looking into the future, technology is expected to become even more advanced. Innovation like virtual reality, renewable energy, technologies, and smart cities may transform how we live and interact with the world. However, it is important to remember that technology should be used responsibly and ethically to benefit society. So, going back, the Stone Age began millions of years when early humans discovered how to shape stones into useful tools. These tools were simple but very important. Early humans used sharp stone as hand axes to cut meat, hunt animals, and protect themselves from danger. They also used stones to break bones and gathered food such as fruits and nuts. Even though these tools were basic, they helped humans to adapt their environment and improve their chances of survival. So, one of the greatest discoveries during the Stone Age was fire. Early humans learned how to control fire, which changed their lives in many ways. Fire provided warmth and during cold weather, protected them from wild animals, and allowed them to cook food. So, cooking made food safer to eat and easier to digest, which helped humans become stronger and healthier. Fire also brought people together as they gathered around it for safety and social interaction. So, early humans did not waste any part of animals they hunted. Aside from using meat for food and skins for clothing, they also use animal bone to create tools and weapons. Bones were strong, lightweight, and easier to shape compared to stones, making them very useful for specific purposes. So one of common example of bone tool is the needle. Early humans sharpened small bones to create needles which they use to animal skins into clothing. This was very important, especially in cold environments, as it helped they stay warm and protected from harsh weather. Without these bone needles, survival is in colder regions would have been much more difficult. So
in the development. Since the beginning of human civilization, technology has played an essential role in the development of society. Technology has played a significant part in the formation of the world as we know it today, beginning with the creation of relatively basic instruments such as the wheel, fire, and stone axes, and progressing to the development of very sophisticated systems such as computers and the internet. Hey guys, welcome back. Is how evolution of technology has changed the world. So let's get into our time machine and take a look at the evolution of technology. The early days of technology. The early days of technology were characterized by simple tools and inventions such as the wheel, fire, and the stone axe. These tools were used for basic tasks such as hunting, transportation, and construction. Over time, as civilizations developed and grew, so did the need for more sophisticated tools and technology. The invention of the wheel, for example, made it easier for people to transport goods and travel from one place to another. The use of fire allowed people to cook food, stay warm, and ward off predators. The stone axe, on the other hand, made it easier for people to cut down trees and clear land for farming. The invention of writing, for example, allowed people to record and share information, leading to the development of early civilizations and the creation of written records of human history. The development of metalworking, on the other hand, allowed for the production of more durable and efficient tools and weapons, leading to significant improvements in agriculture and warfare. The Agricultural Revolution. The Agricultural Revolution marked a major turning point in the evolution of technology. It was during this time that humans began to cultivate crops and raise livestock, leading to a stable food supply and the development of settlements and civilizations. The plow was one of the most important inventions of this period, as it allowed for more efficient farming and the cultivation of more land. The development of irrigation systems also allowed for the expansion of agriculture into areas.
Now that we watched the video about the evolution of technology, we can clearly see how far we come from simple tools in the old days to the advanced digital world we live in today. So before, people used separate devices for different tasks. If you wanted to communicate, you use a telephone. If you wanted to write, you use a typewriter. And if you wanted to entertainment, we use radio or television. Everything was manual, slower and limited. Then everything started to change. When the internet happened, it connected people across the world and made information easily accessible. Because of this, collaboration also happened. People could now work together even if they were in different countries. Ideas were shared faster and communication became easier. As collaboration increased, innovation also happened. Now, the new technologies were created such as smartphones, application, and intelligent system that made our lives more convenient. Tasks that used to take hours can now be done in a minute. So after that, integration happened. Instead of using many devices, we now have the new one device that can do almost everything. Our smartphones are the best example. They also allow us to communicate, study, work, and entertain ourselves all in one place. So now, we are in the stage where future happens. Technology continues to grow rapidly. We are seeing developments in the artificial intelligence, automation, and smart environments. This innovation will continue to shape how we live, work, and interact with each another. But with all these advancements, we must also remember that technology is just a tool. It depends on how we use, and we should use technology wisely, responsibly, and for the betterment of society. But with all advancement,
we must also remember that technology is just a tool. It depends on how we use it. We should use technology wisely and responsibly and for the betterment of society. So the question is the question now is what happens next? So the future technology is in our hands. As student nurse, and future professionals, we have the responsibility to not just use technology, but to understand it, improve it, and make sure it benefits everyone. So for the conclusion, the evolution of technology shows us that change is constant. From the past to the present and into the future, technology will continue to evolve and we must evolve it with it. One important thing to consider is the impact of technology in our daily lives and relationships. While it has made communication faster and more convenient, it has also changed the way we interact with others. People now only rely heavily on digital platforms, which can sometimes reduce face-to-face connections. So at the same time, technology has opened opportunities of learnings, creativity, and global awareness. It allows us to explore new ideas, development, new skills, and stay informed about what is happening around the world. Because of this, it is important to find a balance, using technology to improve our lives without letting it control us. So, thank you, and I hope you learned something from the video, and thank you for watching.